How's it going, guys? So I've gotten quite a few questions about these simple hides I've made for my Blue Tongue Skinks that I have indoors here. Here's one of the westerns hanging out. And they're actually really easy to make, and I decided today to make another one. So all these really are is a piece of plywood board that I've kind of put some legs on to elevate it, and then fake rocked over the top. It's pretty much that simple, but they work great. They're cheap and easy to make, and the animals love them. Before you do anything, you really want to understand what size your enclosure is and what size you want the hide to be. So for my ones, I usually span across the entire side of the enclosure. So you want to measure that and make sure your piece fits in there properly. Today I'm going to make a bit of a better hide for this new enclosure here, and I think I'll put some other blueies in here to try it out for. But yeah, I'm going to make it out of this bit of wood here. I'm going to have it in the corner here. What I'm going to do now is measure it up because I want it to look a lot more naturalistic. And I'm going to make it sort of carved out that way. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it with a jigsaw, use the extra bits to build up and make it look even cooler. And then we'll get to the fake rocking. Alright, so here we have the base hide cut, and now the legs have been added, so that's going to hold it up. So there'll be a bit of a gap under there that the blues can go under. So what we're going to do now is actually add some more bits of wood on top here in different variations to give that rocky sort of outcrop look to it, and then we'll put the fake rock on top of that. So here are the bits I've cut. So we've got our base layer at the bottom there, another bit on top, and then these other two bits as well. So you can see it sort of gives it that layered look, and it's going to make it more 3D. So let's screw these in, get it all nice and solid, and then we'll start covering it. Alright, now we have our structure. It's time to put on the fake rock. I'll probably apply it mostly with the paintbrush, and then I'll use the little scraper tool here to drag out some lines and give it some texture, stuff like that. But all the while smoothing it back out again a bit with the paintbrush. Alright, so here's the hide done and in, and of course a beautiful little western bluey sitting on top of it. So this is the basic idea. Under the basking spot here, it's a nice little basking platform, and they can go right under there, all under there, do what they want. And then of course I've just added a bit of substrate over the top of it to help it blend in a bit more and make it look like it's just a little bit of a cliff coming out of the environment there. And yeah, it's really that simple. These hides work great, cheap to make depending on which materials you use, and effective for the animals. So I grabbed another spare bit of wood here because I want to make another one for my baby enclosure for when the babies come. I'm going to show you guys a different method for this one. I'm going to use the concrete method, and it's going to be really simple like the other one, so I'm not going to do much carving to it, but let's get started. Okay, so here's our basic design for this one. We've got our main bit of wood there as a hide. I cut this other bit of wood here to give it a more of a rocky look. We're going to shape that into it. And then of course we have our legs underneath, which I just cut. So I'm just going to silicone all that together so it's all stable, and then we'll get to the fake rocking. Alright, so I've got my mortar mix here, and we're just going to shape it on there and try and make it look like some good fake rock. I'm just going to dump a bunch on top first, I think. Alright, so here we have our concrete rock structure pretty much dry. So now I'm just going to add some paint to it. Also just got the brush and wiped off any loose bits of sand or whatever that's on there. And yeah, we're going to hit it with a dark layer and then some lighter. Alright, now here we have it. Nice and dry. And we have a simple but much better looking hide for the reptiles to enjoy. They can climb all over it, looks more natural. We'll chuck it in. Fits in nice and snug. Then again, you can just cover it over with some leaves and stuff. Make it look a bit more natural. We'll see how it looks with a lizard. So the blotchies are getting a bit big for something like this, but when I get the new babies come through this season, hopefully, it'll be perfect size for them. Now you want to give a good couple of days for the product on top to dry, you know, whether you've painted it or used this Mega Treat liquid sandstone, whatever you decide to use. Give it a few days to dry so any fumes or anything can disappear from that. For something so simple, it can really make an enclosure look a lot more natural and realistic, especially when you compare it to those simple basic plastic hides, you know, like this is much better. The animal can use all the surface space of it. There's a look at how I make these basic hides for my blue tongues. There's that one. There's that one, there's one up there, and you can really make these really quite fast. It's really important these animals feel nice and secure and have safe places to go. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Now you can hopefully go out and make your own hides yourself. It's really simple, really easy, but it's just a fun thing to do, and it's good to get creative. So subscribe if you want to see more Australian reptiles. Give the video a like. Leave any comments or questions below. Give me suggestions for future videos, and I'll see you next time.